Hello, welcome back to BLENDERSUSHI Live Noding. So in this episode, we're gonna continue with the interpolation stuff in Sverchok. The idea is to be able to control all kind of interpolations of different objects in whatever shapes they might be. Currently, they are all the same shape, basically just the default cube, but this one is slightly deformed. I could add more or less. But it's totally up to you. Currently, what's gonna happen is it start from a certain shape, which is this guy right here, and then it's gonna morph into that shape, and then finally to our original cube shape. So that's pretty simple. It's three shapes. We can have as many shapes as we can, as we like. But we can also do the multiple interpolations, like maybe make it like 10 times. So now we have this kind of effects, like I guess that's pretty cool, like multiple interpolations, each one is slightly offset. How do we set it up? It's pretty simple. It's just basically we get all the objects into one list. Each one needs to have the same number of points, and with the edge and the face, that's the second part. But basically, same number of points, and it should be good. Same number of points, and then we use this list flip, vector interpolations MK3, and then another list flip. Because see, if you look at the data at the moment using the stethoscope, it's basically 1, 2, 3. It's 3 data times 8 points of each cube. Using list flip, it becomes just 3 data that we can interpolate, and each data contains how many? Okay, with list flip, from 3 data it's become 8 data, so it's become each point get treated as an array instead of the 3 data. Instead of 3 times 8, it's now 8 times 3. And for 8 times 3, for the points, we are interpolating it. Hence, we get this thing that looks like a kind of like a blend shapes. We can add it, add more. Go to edit mode and then just randomize. Something like that. That's not too random, actually. Randomize further. Yeah, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Select. Okay, now it's interpolating. Remember, we can always sort these interpolations if you like, sort by name or whatever. So that's what vector interpolation does. We can make it cyclic, so it starts from a certain shape and then change and then go back to the original shapes. That's also can be useful. For the edge itself, I'm using this list repeater. So instead of just plugging the edges or polygon from the original shapes, so we might have like 10 different shapes, and then we're just gonna do this interpolation stuff, but we only need the original data because they are all the same shapes, which is just a cube. So for the edges here, I just load one of them, just the default cube with the edge plug into the list repeater, and I repeat it depending on how many times we have the interpolations. So if I set it to 50, now if I play back, actually just 30, if I play it back, we can see like kind of ghosting happening while it's changing from one shape to another. The interpolation itself here, the t, the factor, is being influenced by this map range, and then this remember the time offset thing that I did, and then also there's another time offset here. So this is like the normal time offset to control the start and the end of the time, just kind of pushing the time. See, I can control it quite easily here. While this guy, add and range float, will kind of make the time stream into multiple time. We have how many, depending on this count? 20, 12. Yeah, I guess the effect's quite nice. Sometimes we don't actually need to have the edges like we have here. Perhaps we are doing like let me think. Maybe not the meta balls. Maybe let's do a text. RX 90, RZ 90. Let's try something like this. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's gonna be pretty complex actually. I'm gonna turn this guy into particles. 1, 2, 3. Convert to mesh. Now each one of them is a mesh. We can add a particle system. Just let it emit particles, but no physics whatsoever. Same with this guy, particles, and same. So each one using the same particle setting that we set. Alright, now let's grab the particles and then just plug it into Sverchok. Well, I just realized that this might not work as we want it because this guy doesn't load the multiple particles at the moment. Unless I turn this guy into the points. I just need to have the points actually. Yeah, let's just do that. I'll make another Sverchok and just grab particles, objects in, grab the objects, and then get the particles and just output it. Object output, object viewer, viewer MBMax MK2, and then just merge it. This is called 1. Plug that in, and we should have the mesh. Delete, and this guy, selection. Oops, name it properly. Delete, and then another one. Grab this guy, get selection, and done. So we have 1, 2, 3. Each one of them have the same number of points, 1000. So 1, 2, 3. If we grab them and then back to our nodes tree, get selection. Now we have the edge here that we don't need. Just cut it. So hopefully with the 1, 2, 3 there, we're gonna see the transition. Yep, something like that, but maybe not too many, just one. So it start from 1 and then it's morphing to 2. And then 3. So it looks like the effect is happening really fast, and go back to 1. It happens so fast that number 2 is not so visible. Wonder if we can make it a little bit slower. So here we have time and then offset, and then we have this controlled by stepping. Maybe the stepping should be less, maybe 1. Yeah, 2 seems to be too far apart. Alt min, alt max. I'll turn this to 100. 1. Can't see the 2. And then 3. And go back to 1. Turn off cyclic. Well, if you use Blender particles, and you know there's a keyed particles here, keyed particles, you can use multiple particles that kind of doing the same thing here, but we are using Sverchok here, so we have a lot of parts. Actually have so many. I have so many copy of that guy. Wonder why. Just need 1. Maybe that's why. That's why it was behaving weird. 1, 2, 3. Get selection. 1 and then it's weird that it becomes 2 later at some point, at later point. So maybe I need 1000 of it. So 1 and 1, 3, 2. Okay, so apparently I need a longer timeline in order to see everything. So in effect, this is just like simulating again Blender particles keyed. If you want to do this using animation nodes, it's probably similar, but I think Sverchok is perfect for this kind of thing. With animation nodes, if I check, the vector can translate. So but see, we have animate matrix, good for transformations, animate vector, good for vector position, but not I don't think this can do like a multiple array of vector. Well, it might actually do that with a mixed vector list. Yeah, it might be able to do the same thing, but I'm waiting for animation nodes version 2. Actually, currently it's version 1.6, the one I have installed. 1.7 and up is still currently being developed, like work in progress. Maybe by the time we reach animation nodes version 2, it's gonna be a lot faster when animation node is used to do this kind of points interpolations, just like Sverchok. Currently, animation nodes can be pretty slow if you have too many points like this, but Sverchok can handle it. Like in this case, if we want like a multiple, see now we have like 5,000 points traveling. See, we have like extra points there that we can control using the stepping. Anyway, you can do the points or just do the simple stuff like the box right here. Get selection, and then we have the things happening with the box. Yeah, like I said, you can use the edge, and then we have that effects. I guess this can be useful at some point. I don't know what's you can use it. I think the concept here is to do like a kind of like a blend shape or like a shape keys that works with points, just like particles. It works with same shapes of objects, and you can have as many as you want. Yeah, I guess it's just like a blend shape in a way. The whole thing is blend shapes, but you kind of have control over each points. Now, if you want to kind of stagger each points, that might be a little bit complex. I have to go back to see the previous live noding and have kind of combine that. I wonder if we can just use particles to do that. You know, like stagger particles so it moves one by one. Yeah, it might be interesting. Anyhow, this is the live noding for now. If you have any comments, feedbacks, leave it